The story begins with a glowing drop of water falling to the ground, turning into a golden flower. We see an old woman named Gothel singing to the flower, which glows and restores her youth. Hundreds of years later, a kingdom emerges, ruled by a beloved king and queen. However, the queen falls ill in the final months of her pregnancy, and to heal her they start searching for the golden flower. At that time, Gothel is at the flower, but as soon as she senses the guards, she flees the scene. Naturally, the guards take the flower and give it to the king, who uses it to heal the queen. Rapunzel is born, and her father and mother rejoice over her. They release a glowing lantern into the sky to celebrate her birthday. One day, Gothel sneaks into the castle and sings a song to Rapunzel, whose hair glows and restores Gothel's youth again. But as soon as her hair is cut, its magical power disappears, so Gothel kidnaps Rapunzel and escapes. Of course, the entire kingdom searches for Rapunzel everywhere, but can't find her. Inside a hidden tower in the heart of the forest, Gothel raises Rapunzel as if she were her own daughter, forbidding her from leaving the tower. On Rapunzel's birthday, the king and queen release thousands of lanterns in hopes that their missing daughter will return to them. Years pass, and Rapunzel grows up. We see her playing with Pascal, her little chameleon friend, who wants her to leave the tower. Naturally, Rapunzel refuses, knowing that the outside world is very dangerous and full of criminals and thieves. After that, she starts cleaning the tower and brushing her long, beautiful hair. We learn that she loves to read, paint on the walls, and that Pascal constantly plays with her. Rapunzel is excited because tomorrow is her birthday, and at night she'll see the lights floating in the sky. She wishes her mother would let her go see those lights up close. In another place, we see a thief named Flynn Rider with two criminal brothers. They sneak into the king and queen's castle. Flynn descends from the ceiling with the help of the brothers, steals the princess's crown, and the three of them escape the scene. We return to Rapunzel, who lowers her hair for her mother Gothel, pulling her up into the tower and welcoming her. We see that Gothel is a selfish and greedy woman who asks Rapunzel to sing for her because she's feeling unwell. Rapunzel quickly sings for her, restoring her youth. Rapsel thinks about how tomorrow is her birthday and she'll turn 18. She asks Gothel to let her leave the tower to see the sky's lights up close. Gothel lies to her, saying they're just stars, not lights as she thinks. But Rapunzel knows those lights aren't stars and feels they're connected to her because they shine on her birthday alone. She begs Gothel to let her leave the tower just once to see the lights up close. Naturally, Gothel refuses and leaves the tower, singing to Rapunzel and warning her about the world and its criminals. She tells her there are thieves and savages who want to kidnap her to exploit her magical hair, convincing her she can't protect herself because she's still young and weak. Gothel mocks her the whole time she's singing and, in the end, orders her never to ask to leave the tower again. She leaves, and Rapunzel is sad because all she wants is to see those lights up close. We then go to Flynn, who gets annoyed when he sees his wanted poster hanging on a tree, upset because they drew his nose too big. Suddenly, the guards spot him, and the criminals with him, so the three of them run until they reach a dead end. Flynn asks the brothers to lift him up so he can pull them up too. They agree on the condition that he leaves the bag with them. They help Flynn, but he tricks them, takes the bag with the crown, and escapes. The guards chase him, and Flynn keeps running, dodging arrows to get away. He swings on a rope, spins around, hits the head guard, and mounts his horse. The horse, named Maximus, gets angry and tries to take the bag from him. It flies off and gets caught on a tree. The two fight over who'll reach the bag, walking along the tree perched on a cliff's edge. At the last moment, Flynn grabs the bag, but the tree falls with him and Maximus. They get separated, and by chance, Flynn discovers a secret entrance. He enters it to escape Maximus and finds an isolated tower. He starts climbing the tower, and as soon as he gets inside, Rapunzel hits him, knocking him unconscious. She approaches him, scared and confused by his appearance. After several attempts, she manages to lock him in a wardrobe. She takes the crown from the bag, thinking it's a ring until she puts it on her head, though she doesn't know what it's for. Suddenly, her mother calls her, so she hides the crown, lowers her hair, and pulls Gothel up into the tower. Rapunzel is excited and wants to tell her mother what happened, so she'll let her go see the lights. But Gothel yells at her, saying it's impossible for her to leave the tower. Rapunzel gives up and doesn't tell her what happened, instead saying she wants paints to draw with for her birthday. Gothel reminds her that the trip takes 3 days, but agrees to go get them for her. She leaves and descends the tower. Rapunzel goes to pull Flynn out of the wardrobe, ties him to a chair with her hair, and has Pascal wake him up. Flynn is amazed when he sees Rapunzel's hair, and even more so when he sees her. He tells her his name is Flynn Rider, but Rapunzel is afraid of him, asking who sent him and why he wants to steal her hair. Flynn takes advantage and tells her what happened, explaining he found the tower by chance. He asks about the crown, and she says she's hidden it in a secret place he'll never find, even if he destroys the whole tower. Rapunzel is relieved he's not there to steal her hair and offers to give him the crown back if he takes her to see the lights. Flynn tells her they're not lights, but lanterns released for the lost princess. He refuses to help her because the kingdom's guards are searching for him everywhere. Rapunzel insists, assuring him he won't leave with the crown unless he shows her the lanterns. Flynn is forced to agree. He starts descending the tower while Rapunzel, nervous, scared, and excited all at once, lowers her hair and climbs down, touching the ground for the first time in her life. She's overjoyed and keeps singing as she runs, showing how happy she is. Flynn takes advantage of her behavior. Sometimes she's sad because her mother will be upset. Sometimes she's happy and doesn't want to return to the tower. He goes to her while she's crying, comforts her, and tells her her mother will be very sad because she didn't listen. He says it's best for her to return to the tower and give him the crown before her mother comes back. Naturally, Rapunzel refuses, saying she must see the lanterns. She gets scared and upset when a rabbit jumps out of the bushes. Then Flynn gets an idea to make her return to the tower. He tells her he knows a good restaurant where they can eat. We cut to Maximus, who's searching for Flynn. By chance, he runs into Gothel, who's surprised to see him alone in the forest. She runs quickly back to the tower and calls for Rapunzel, but she doesn't answer. Gothel enters through a secret passage and climbs into the tower. She's shocked that Rapunzel isn't there. By chance, she finds the bag with the crown and sees Flynn's picture, realizing he's the one who took her. Meanwhile, Flynn has taken Rapunzel to a restaurant in the middle of the forest. Rapunzel is nervous when she enters because it's full of scary-looking criminals and thieves. Flynn keeps scaring her, saying it's best for her to return to the tower. He takes her to leave, but the criminals stop them, deciding to turn Flynn in for the reward from the guards. They all start fighting over who'll hand Flynn over to the guards for the reward. Rapunzel tries to save him, hitting one of the criminals with a tree branch. She asks them to let Flynn go, saying she needs to see the lanterns, and he's the only one who can help her. She tells them it's been her dream since she was little, and asks about their dreams. One of the criminals approaches her, singing and telling her he dreams of being a musician. Rapunzel is amazed by his playing. Each person there tells her about their dream, which turns out to be something good. They sing and dance, happy together. Meanwhile, Gothel has reached the restaurant, looks through the window, and sees Rapunzel dancing and singing with the criminals. As for Flynn, he's surprised by what's happening. He joins in and says he dreams of buying a distant island to live on alone, with lots of money. Suddenly, the guards burst into the restaurant to catch Flynn, who hides with Rapunzel. The guards also manage to capture the 2 criminal brothers who were helping Flynn. One of the criminals opens a secret tunnel for Rapunzel and Flynn to escape through. All of a sudden, Maximus enters the restaurant and figures out where the secret tunnel is. The captain orders a guard to stay with the 2 criminals while he enters the tunnel. Naturally, the brothers knock out the guard and follow to get revenge on Flynn. Gothel threatens one of the people at the restaurant, asking where the tunnel leads. Inside the tunnel, Flynn is amazed by what Rapunzel did and asks why she hadn't gone to see the lanterns long ago. Before she can answer, they sense the guards and run quickly to escape. They exit the tunnel, which is under a dam, with the guards behind them and the criminal brothers in front. Rapunzel hooks her hair onto a piece of wood and swings to the other side. Flynn uses a pan to hit the guards, managing to defeat them. He's impressed by her, but Maximus attacks with a sword, fighting fiercely and knocking the pan away. At the last moment, Rapunzel pulls Flynn with her hair, distancing him from Maximus and escaping the criminal brothers. Maximus gets angry, breaks part of the dam, and crosses over to reach Rapunzel. Flynn tells her to jump quickly, and she does, with Flynn holding her hair so she doesn't fall. They both run fast to escape the brothers and the guards. Suddenly, the dam collapses, flooding the valley. Flynn and Rapunzel run and enter the tunnel, but a rock blocks the entrance. The exit is also sealed, and water starts filling the tunnel. They can't get out, and unfortunately, Flynn gets injured. Despite that, he tries to escape, telling Rapunzel the place is dark and he can't open the exit. Rapunzel cries, blaming herself for what happened, but Flynn comforts her, revealing his real name is Eugene, not Flynn Rider. Rapunzel remembers her hair is magical and starts singing as the water fills the space. Her hair glows and Flynn swims quickly to the exit, moving rocks until they escape the tunnel. Naturally, Flynn is shocked by what happened and asks why Rapunzel's hair glows. We cut to Gothel hiding near the tunnel's exit, listening as the criminal brothers emerge, saying they must kill Flynn Rider and take the crown. Gothel appears to them, tosses them the crown, and tells them she has something far more valuable. She'll help them get revenge on Flynn Rider. Meanwhile, Rapunzel wraps her hair around Eugene's, Flynn's wound, and sings. Her hair glows, and Eugene is amazed by what he sees. When Rapunzel stops singing, Eugene is stunned as his wound disappears and his hand returns to normal. Rapunzel calms him, explaining that her hair restores youth and heals wounds. But when cut, it turns brown and loses its magic. That's why her mother forbade her from leaving the tower, the reason she hadn't seen the lanterns up close until now. Eugene feels sorry for her because she's never left the tower and asks if she'll return there. Rapunzel hesitates, not wanting to go back, but also worried about upsetting her mother. Eugene comforts her, telling her about himself, that he took on the persona of Flynn Rider from a story he used to tell kids at the orphanage, about a hero who helps people and has lots of money, which is why he adopted the character. Rapunzel tells him she likes the name Eugene better. In that moment, it's clear they're both drawn to each other. A little later, Eugene says he'll go get firewood and leaves. Suddenly, Pascal panics as Gothel appears to Rapunzel, telling her Eugene is lying to her. She urges her to come back to the tower, but Rapunzel refuses, saying people aren't as bad as Gothel made her believe, and that she feels Eugene loves her. Gothel mocks her, saying he's just pretending and that she can't love a thief. She throws her the crown and the bag, assuring her that once Eugene gets the crown, he'll abandon her. She leaves, and soon Eugene returns, checking on Rapunzel, who hides the crown. We see Gothel and the criminal brothers watching them from afar. The next morning, Maximus manages to find Eugene and tries to arrest him. Rapunzel wakes up, helps Eugene, and stops Maximus from taking him, calming him with Pascal's help. She treats him kindly, and Maximus is delighted. Rapunzel asks him not to arrest Eugene today because it's her birthday. She convinces them both with her reasoning. Later, they reach the kingdom, and Rapunzel is amazed by everything she sees. Maximus and Eugene playfully bicker like kids, while Rapunzel struggles to walk because of her hair. Eugene helps her, getting a group of girls to braid it for her. He's captivated by her and starts liking her more. She gets excited seeing a picture of the king and queen holding their princess daughter, feeling like she knows them. She's thrilled hearing music and dances happily, getting everyone around to join her. Maximus pushes Eugene to dance with the crowd too. He tries to get close to Rapunzel, but they're separated. He buys her a cloth with a sun drawn on it and helps her paint it on the ground. They keep dancing until they reach each other but quickly hide from the guards. Later, Eugene takes her on a boat to show her the lanterns and gives Maximus an apple to eat. He takes Rapunzel to a spot far enough to watch the lanterns comfortably. She's nervous, telling Eugene she's dreamed of seeing the lanterns her whole life and doesn't know what she'll do after fulfilling her dream. Eugene explains that's the best part because then she'll find a new dream to chase. We cut to the king and queen, missing their daughter and feeling sad. They step onto the balcony and release a lantern. Then all the kingdom's people release their lanterns, a huge number of them. Rapunzel is mesmerized watching the lanterns float in the sky, happy and content. She's overjoyed seeing the lanterns Eugene brought for her and tells him she brought the crown for him because she's not afraid anymore. But Eugene isn't interested in the crown. He releases lanterns with Rapunzel, happy to be with her. He holds her hand and they sing together, joyful and surrounded by lanterns everywhere. Just before Eugene can confess his love to Rapunzel, he spots the criminal brothers waiting on the shore. He apologizes to Rapunzel, and they head to the shore. He takes the bag, tells her he has something important to do and will return, then leaves to confront the brothers. He apologizes for what he did and throws them the crown, but they won't let him go, saying they want the girl, not the crown, because she's far more valuable. We cut to Rapunzel, waiting for Eugene and happy to see him coming toward her, but she's shocked when she realizes it's the criminals. They tell her Eugene took the crown and fled, pointing to him on a boat. Rapunzel is devastated, thinking Eugene deceived her and runs to escape the criminals who want to kidnap her. Suddenly, she hears someone being hit and turns back to find her mother has defeated the criminals. She runs to her, hugs her, cries, and looks at the boat with Eugene, hugging her mother again and saying she was right. Meanwhile, Eugene is unconscious, tied up on the boat, holding the crown. The guards see him and arrest him. Maximus learns what happened too. The next day, we see Rapunzel, sad because she realizes Eugene didn't love her and was just deceiving her. Pascal tries to comfort her, and her mother reminds her she warned her multiple times, but she didn't listen. Gothel leaves, and Rapunzel stares at the cloth Eugene bought her, feeling something strange. She recalls the picture of the king and queen with their little daughter and remembers wearing the crown. She realizes she's the lost princess and confronts Gothel, telling her she's the missing princess and not her real mother, that she kept her locked up all this time to exploit her hair's power. She yells at her for kidnapping her from her family and keeping her in the tower her whole life. Gothel tries to justify it and comfort her, but Rapunzel pushes her away, enraging Gothel. Meanwhile, Eugene is worried about Rapunzel. The guards come to take him for execution. As he's walking, he sees the criminal brothers, attacks the guards, and threatens one of them, learning Gothel is behind it all. But the guards take him for execution despite his attempts to explain that a girl is in danger. No one believes him. Suddenly, all the doors shut on the guards, and the criminals from the restaurant appear, attacking them and freeing Eugene. But the guards are numerous and chase him. The criminals fight them off, helping Eugene escape. One puts Eugene on a cart, and another launches it into the air. He lands on Maximus, who planned everything, takes Eugene and runs at top speed, leaping a great distance to escape the guards and leave the kingdom to save Rapunzel. Soon they reach the tower, and Eugene calls for Rapunzel to lower her hair. She does, and he climbs up. As soon as he enters, Gothel stabs him with a dagger, and he falls to the ground. She goes to Rapunzel, who's tied up, and tells her she's taking her to a place no one can ever reach. Pascal tries to stop her, but gets hit. Rapunzel resists, trying to reach Eugene, telling Gothel she'll never stop trying to escape no matter what she does. But if Gothel lets her heal Eugene, she'll stay with her forever. Gothel agrees, chains Eugene so he can't follow, and as Rapunzel approaches to heal him, Eugene grabs her hair and cuts it with a shard of glass. It turns brown and loses its magic. Gothel weakens, losing her youth, and Pascal trips her out of the tower. As she hits the ground, she vanishes. Rapunzel is devastated, unable to heal Eugene, begging him not to die and stay with her. Eugene tells her she was his dream. Rapunzel replies that he was her new dream too, but sadly, Eugene loses consciousness. Rapunzel cries and sings over his loss. As a tear falls onto him, it glows, flows to his wound, forms a large burst of light, and heals him. Rapunzel is amazed as Eugene wakes up, telling her he loves her brown hair. She hugs him. Later, we see the king and queen running quickly to the balcony, meeting Eugene and Rapunzel. Her mother approaches, realizing she's her daughter, and hugs her. Her father hugs her too, and they embrace Eugene as well. Naturally, the whole kingdom celebrates the return of the lost princess. Each criminal achieves their dream and becomes beloved. Thanks to Maximus, all crime disappears. Rapunzel rules the kingdom with justice and wisdom, marries Eugene, and in the end, don't forget to support us with a like and subscribe to the channel to see upcoming videos.